We're living in the urban age. It means that many people are moving to cities everywhere on the globe. It's the first time in the history of mankind that so many people move to cities on every continent, and it happens at very high pace. Offices, buildings, infrastructure has to be built for people. Every week for more than 1 million people. And of course, this urbanization leads to smarter people. Sharing, matching and learning is what happens in city. It's good for the urban economies and it's also good for the people because they're getting smarter. But of course, the expansion of cities also goes at some costs. And that's mainly because we built our cities like we did it in the last century. Central business districts, ring roads, and most of all suburbs. And due to this pattern of dispersed populations, cities are facing daunting challenges in managing water, wastewater, energy, traffic, materials, etc. It also contributes to inequality, as people living in informal settlements, sometimes far away from the city in informal suburbs, have to travel long distances in order to make a living. There is another price we pay, and that is at the global level. The resources city needs come from the same hinterland. Cities all share the same hinterland. We're living in the Anthropocene, which means that our industrial way of living has geological consequences. We are crossing planetary boundaries on climate change, on the loss of biodiversity and on the nitrogen circle, and we risk crossing boundaries in other areas. Cities only covering 2% of the land of the planet are the areas for which these resources are needed. And cities, for that reason, have to rethink how they function, and they have to accept that there are natural boundaries beyond which a safe and continued existence is no longer possible. Fortunately, there's also good news. There is a huge interest in cities, not always seen by national governments and multilateral agreements. Cities, in contrast to nation states, have very high ambitions and have sometimes stunning results and ideas. They are not caught by cost-benefit analysis, but act from the awareness that action is needed, that they are going to pay the price for inaction, that they are going to bear the burden if the system is not going to change. Moreover, they use the energy of their citizens and their entrepreneurs, who act from the awareness that there is a need for change and that this change is also viable. Looking from a perspective of global governance, cities are leading, using the energy of their citizens. That's other good news, and that is that mankind is very innovative. People always invent new technologies which can make life better and improve the quality of our cities. The technologies of our times are the information and communication technologies. Much of these technologies are coming together in the concept of smart cities. Smart cities promise better cities. But unfortunately, this agenda is not really connected to a social reform agenda, and it doesn't really appreciate the way cities work. We have to invest in that. Politics, scientists, planners and designers have to see if we can infuse the discourse on smart cities with insights about what a city is, how it functions, how it can work, how governance in cities works, and how cities can learn, both in and between cities. In our book, Smart About Cities, we argue for a globally networked urbanism. Why are cities that of such a high interest? Because we have so many, and we'll get more, and we'll get more and more initiatives in cities. And as cities are able to bundle the energy of all their citizens, then we may get the sustainable and just transition we are looking for.